They're literally tearing down my city. Now, when I say they're tearing down my city, I mean they're tearing down the parts that I like the most about the city. I live in Shenzhen, which is probably the most modern, well, not probably, it is the most modern city in China. It's very, very cyberpunk. It's got beautiful skyscrapers. It's home to all the technology in China. But there's one aspect of Shenzhen that I've always loved, and that is the urban villages. And these urban villages are where the poorer people or the migrant workers live. Of course, a lot of them are the original residents. You know, they're actually very rich, some of the people who own some of these properties, and they get paid out. But the people who actually own the properties, they usually rent them out to migrant workers. Now, what you get is you get these so-called handshake apartments. And you can see all around me, you've got like foot massage places, you've got restaurants, you've got hairdressers, you've got pretty much everything you can think of in these little urban villages. And like I said, what you have is you have things called handshake apartments. The reason they're called that is because they're so close together that you can literally reach out of your window and shake your neighbor's hand. And it's like a maze exploring these little alleyways in between the apartments. I've always enjoyed it because when I first got to Shenzhen, I actually ended up living in one of these sort of little urban villages. And, you know, especially at night, if you walk around, there's so many interesting things to see. You get to see all the interesting, different things that people do in China, you know, different to the West. The different kinds of entertainment that are available, the different kinds of services that are available, you know, the foods, the street foods, the smells, the sights. Sometimes the smells can be a bit overwhelming, I'll be honest. But, you know, this gives so much character to the city, and especially for a fresh off the boat foreigner like myself, it was like a baptism of fire. It just threw me in the midst of what China really is, this kind of undulating, chaotic, yet interesting and fascinating place. But, of course, Shenzhen, in its infinite wisdom, has decided to get rid of these urban villages in order to make way for fancy new skyscrapers. And although I do understand that, of course, a lot of these places are not very safe, you know, it is kind of a breeding ground for, what's the proper word here? I'd like to say disease and rats, but that wouldn't be correct. More like, well, it's just unhygienic. You know, the buildings aren't very well put together. And of course it's not safe, but it's got a special kind of character. And unfortunately, as you can see here, they're just gutting them and trashing them and knocking them all down. Probably the biggest tragedy is that my favorite place, not this place, this is just one of them, but my favorite place in Shenzhen when it comes to like the old part of the city, to be able to see what Shenzhen kind of used to be like. If you wanted to kind of get a glimpse of rural China in a way, has also been bashed down, most of it anyway. This footage I'm showing you now that I took in that part of Shenzhen, that place doesn't exist anymore. The street where this lady was cooking her food is not there anymore. These food stalls, this wet market, all of this stuff is gone. And it's going to be replaced with the tallest skyscraper in Shenzhen, as if I care about that kind of stuff. We've got enough skyscrapers. My gripe is that these parts of the city should be preserved. But it's just one of those things that modern China is all about. It's all about getting rid of the old to put in the new. And Shenzhen as it stands already doesn't have a lot of history. It's a very new city. In fact, all these handshake apartments and everything around here, they're only less than 30 years old. I know they look ancient, but that's the Chinese maintenance methods at work. The thing is, these are a part of the city's soul. And unfortunately, they're soon all going to be gone. So I guess I'm glad I was here to experience them while they were here. I'm glad that I experienced a lot in China when I did. So I'm always looking for like interesting alleyways to walk down. But it's depressing to me. It's depressing to me because a part of the city's character is being lost as these places are knocked down one by one. And, you know, next time I visit here, it's probably going to be a new shopping mall or new soulless apartment complexes or, you know, another big skyscraper trying to prove that Shenzhen's got the tallest building in the country. I mean, I'm not against this ambition and progress and all that kind of thing, but come on, guys, I wish you could have handled it a little better. You know, try to preserve some of the culture and the history of the city. Anyway, that's pretty much it for this video, guys. I'm just griping about this because, you know, it's really quite a big loss to me, and I'm gonna miss these little urban villages when they're gone. Still a couple of them left, so their days are numbered, but if you come to visit Shenzhen, you'll still be able to find some. But like I said, they're shrinking. So I'm going to end this video by giving you guys a montage of some of the footage I've taken in some of the urban villages that are pretty much either already gone or about to be knocked down. So on that rather sullen note, just wanted to say thank you guys for watching again. I love you guys, and as always, you know the drill. Like urban villages, stay awesome. You made it. I'm surprised. You know, that was a pretty long montage. I know it was a little bit slow, but I wanted to try and give you guys a little bit of an idea about what happens, you know, in those urban villages. Literally, my favorite places in Shenzhen when I got here, and still to this day, I absolutely love going and exploring them. Especially when I have friends or subscribers around, I like to go and show them because it's something very uniquely China. You know, Shenzhen, yeah, I'd say maybe uniquely Shenzhen, but that's not really true because it reflects what a third or second tier city looks like on a whole. Anyway, the reason I'm popping in here at the end to give you this message is I'm about to embark on another very interesting project. It's very hush-hush for now, but I'll be traveling around China for the next, say, 2 to 3 weeks to some of the biggest cities. I'll be doing a lot of filming, getting a lot done, so you can expect a lot of interesting things coming from my channel in the very near future. Anyway, guys, once again, I just wanted to say thank you for all of your support, whether you're a subscriber or a patron. I don't mind, whoever you are. If you're out there watching my stuff, you have no idea how much I appreciate that and how much I respect you. So thank you very much, guys. And until next time, you know the drill. As always, stay awesome.